What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Tuesday evening episode of Voice of Reason. We've got another amazing episode lined up for you today. As we all know, Washington, D.C. is now a militarized zone, and Donald Trump is inviting Putin to Alaska. He thinks he's going to Russia, so we're still trying to clarify that one.
Yo, I bet you he could not point out Alaska or Russia on a map.
No, not at all. From what I've heard and seen and read today, the troops are in Washington, D.C. They are being deployed as we speak. I am going tomorrow. Most of you guys know that. I will be in live streaming in Washington, D.C. tomorrow because I announced that I'm going, and then I started thinking, like, maybe I shouldn't, and maybe I should wait for another protest, and then I'm like, you know what, no, because I haven't seen any reporting from Washington, D.C., so I need to see for myself what is going on. So if maybe I get involved in some protests, maybe I can interview some people on the streets, maybe nothing is going on, and I'll just go to the Air and Space Museum and reminisce from when I was a kid and just walk around and talk to you guys in the comments. So there could be nothing going on tomorrow. I really don't know. I have no plan. I kind of know the general area I want to go to. It's going to be like the National Mall because that's where all the major monuments are. The White House is only like a mile from it, and that's where all the museums and everything are. So if anything, any kind of gatherings are going to happen, I'm guessing it's going to be right around there. I'm also going to be scouring social media. I'm getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, trying to leave my house by 5, which will put me there around 9 o'clock, and then it gives me 3 hours to try and figure out what I want to do. But I will be live regardless, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Plus, I'm also planning on going back on September the 2nd, which is that Labor Day? That doesn't sound right. I don't know. So it's one of those days. The beginning of September, I was talking to Carlos from American Opposition. I'm going to meet up with him down in D.C. then too. So we have 2 IRL streams planned for the next couple weeks. Well, yeah. So for the next 2-3 weeks, we have a couple live events planned. So, but tonight we are going to talk about how the Trump administration basically is failing on all fronts. They are putting up a good front for Vladimir Putin. Now that he is coming, they are vocal about not funding. They don't want to fund Ukraine and this, that, and I'm pretty sure they're saying all this stuff just because they want to make Putin happy.
Shit for months.
Right. They're fine with sending money to Israel to fund a genocide, but they want to take away money from Ukraine, who's being invaded by a war criminal. We're funding a war criminal, and we're trying to help another one. I guess that's what we do these days.
Yeah, and one is coming here. I already crossed it off on my bingo card.
Yep, American soil. Amazing, right?
Yep. I'm telling you, July 4th, listen to me. This is my prediction. Not only are we already having the UFC fight, right?
Yeah, Jesus
I'm
Christ.
telling you, Andrew Tate is going to be fighting in that. It's going to be Andrew Tate versus Conor McGregor.
Probably.
And Vladimir Putin, Kim Jong-un, Viktor Orban, Netanyahu, all of them are going to be in attendance.
That would be insane. If it makes it to this time next year and Donald Trump's still president, it's hard to say. It's actually not. Like these days, like irony is dead. So yeah, that's probably not far-fetched anymore.
What's interesting is, like what you said, is if Trump is president by then. If he's not, you won't see that, because if you get a Vance Heritage Foundation presidency, they're gonna.
That's a nightmare.
What they're gonna do is shrink down the radar, so everyone just leaves us alone for a while, and then they're gonna do some bad shit in the country. But that's another show for another day.
Yep. Oh, also, this is not breaking news, but it is news. They picked the Heritage Foundation stooge to replace the lady from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and they're talking about getting rid of monthly job reports now altogether.
It's on. Wait. If you don't report on COVID numbers, it can't be.
They don't exist, right?
If you don't report on job numbers,
right? They're fine. Right, exactly. So anyway, we're also going to talk about how disgusting the GOP is, because we have another story of a GOP senator helping his 18-year-old relative by changing the age of consent in his state, so his relative would not go to jail. We also have another school shooting. Shocking. And we also have proof that stupidity is deadly. Actually, you know what? Let's just start with that one. Let me go ahead and add that to the stage real quick. I've been mentioning this story, but I haven't been able to talk about it. But a Georgia gunman, they originally thought, I believe, they thought it was targeting a college. But the Georgia gunman who killed a police officer and targeted the CDC was fixated on the COVID-19 vaccine. Now, I'm not going to bother reading the story, but the short version is he thought the COVID vaccine made him sick, and he blamed the CDC. He thought it. Well, I think what was the exact thing they mentioned here? They thought it made him. Oh God, I can't even find
Spider-Man
it now.
powers.
Right? Like this is so insane though that I can't believe this is something that we're reporting on.
This is the perfect example of no one's just saying what it is. Like they'll dance around it. What they should say is stupid moron attacks government facility because stupid moron is president.
Yeah.
Like that's what it should say. Because
that's what it was.
The fact that we have to talk about any of this with nuance anymore is absolutely offensive.
I know, right? So there, I found it. He thought that the COVID-19 vaccine made him suicidal. Yeah, and his neighbor also said that the 30-year-old often discussed anti-vaccine conspiracy theories. Yeah. This is why stupidity and propaganda are dangerous, because then this happened. Somebody lost their life. Somebody died because this moron literally thought that the COVID-19 vaccine was responsible for all of his problems.
Wait.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
Like you're almost saying, and now I'm going to do some fuzzy math here, that yet another right-wing ignorant moron decided to kill people because world too scary, gays, Democrats, and trans people are out to get me.
Right, and instead of looking things up, they just, believe the conspiracies.
Trump done told me I go shoot him.
Right? Did you guys hear today that Donald Trump is going to be going through all of the Smithsonian exhibits and deciding which ones are appropriate?
Yep.
Culturally appropriate?
That is.
I wonder what that means.
North Korean and Hitler-ish. Holy shit.
Extremely.
Let me tell you, what about the other day when parts of the Constitution were taken down from the website, the White House website?
James and I talked about it yesterday in one of his posts. He talked about the beautification of D.C., and I always like to point out the Nazi parallels, and that's exactly the type of verbiage that Hitler used when he wanted to beautify Berlin before the Olympics.
Buy yourself some little packets. You can get them on Amazon for less than $10. Little pocket constitutions. Because I am telling you, this is not hyperbole. We are seeing it happen digitally. They are going to erase the Constitution as we know it. They're going to fundamentally reshape our educational system to suit their desires. Buy yourself constitutions.
You're not going to believe me when I tell you this, but there's a part of Project Esther that I'm looking into where they're actually talking about shutting off the entire internet.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not
the internet, it's funny because people shit talk the internet and what it does bad, but it is the greatest force for progress humanity has ever done. When you could link humanity and see the world in real time, you know who doesn't want that? Religion.
Yeah. Well, that's what's crazy about today, because MAGA is going to be looked at like the dumber Nazis. I mean, real think about it, because the Nazis, a lot of the Germans were duped into supporting the Nazis because of propaganda.
Of course.
They had no way of fact-checking anything. Now, everybody has a goddamn supercomputer in their pocket.
And they don't know how to fact-check anything.
And they don't know how to fact-check anything. You know what I mean? You see a post on Facebook. I saw today, there was a post about a celebrity died today, and I looked it up, and I'm like, I don't trust anything I read on Facebook. That place is a dumpster fire. You think Twitter's bad? Jesus. I keep saying that. Oh, by the way, everybody, just to mention this real quick, has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but apparently Grok, the AI chatbot on Twitter was banned today or yesterday. It was banned. The chatbot, AI Twitter chatbot was banned from Twitter. How is that even possible? And the reason it was banned was because it said that Israel and the United States are committing a genocide against Gaza. against Palestine.
Elon was like, "Oh no, gotta get no."
Bro, that's crazy. That it could be the first ever chatbot to get banned from social media. Especially the one that's actually owned by the platform.
Yes,
that is the ironic part.
There are so many delicious ironies in that series of firsts.
Jesus Christ. Man.
Did you see something in the news that the board of Tesla voted to up his salary to keep him?
What? To keep Elon Musk? Are you?
No one reports on it because he's not relevant anymore. Even though the guy gave a Nazi salute at one of Donald Trump's pre-presidential rallies.
Dude, the short-term memory in this world drives me insane. That just happened in January, and they're already like pushing it aside and giving him a fucking raise. Are you mad? That's
for that
crazy
dumpster
shit
that I
right
see
there.
Rolling around every day.
Oh, dude, those things are hideous.
I think they break down and can't fix them, so they just go, shit.
I would be embarrassed to drive one.
If you could buy $120,000 bucket of shit, you could afford to let it die and go get yourself a nice Hyundai and shut the fuck up.
Dude, if I was in an emergency situation and had to get to the hospital before I died, and they were like, "Here, take the Cybertruck," I'd be like, "I'll fucking walk.
No, I'll walk.
I will take my chances."
Sir, you have no legs. I will
crawl.
I grew
up
watching Monty Python. I will channel the Black Knight.
Right. I don't care.
It's but a flesh wound.
You couldn't pay me to drive one of those things. All right. So getting back on topic.
Right, holy crap.
Let's talk about some of the disgusting behavior found seemingly always on the GOP side. It's never a trans person. It's never a drag queen. It's always a freaking Republican. So let's talk about it. And Mike has some interesting statistics for us. In Utah, and this is from Newsweek, you can find it everywhere else too, GOP senator changes a child rape law after relative accused of sex with minor. This was updated last on the 7th. So an 18-year-old in Utah was accused of having sex with a 13-year-old, avoided jail because he was going to go to jail after the laws governing sexual offenses were changed while his relative was president of the state Senate. Senate President J. Stewart Adams confided to legislators that the law relating to his relative's case should be reviewed in a large bill that was passed in 2024. Adams told the Salt Lake Tribune, "Some have suggested this change was made to benefit the case I was made aware of involving a high school senior. This is simply not true. While the sponsor of the bill was aware of the case, I did not request the legislation and did not intervene." Blah, blah, blah. So why does it matter?
We could just go so far into why it's always the Republicans, but that's not the point of this story. The point of this story is that there is a segment of American politicians that are active PDF files. See, I'm going to try and get better at that. And are clearly participating in what is a network of these individuals. Because if you are willing to change the law to get your relative, no matter who it is, if your own kid, your mom, I don't care, your little old grandma, if you're willing to change the laws to let them get off from doing something like that to a minor, you are okay with that act. You can't say, well, the love of my loved one, it just, it blinded me. No. If you don't make the choice to stand up for what's right in the moments that are given to you, that's when you fail and you aren't a good person anymore. It's literally as simple as that. But
yeah, it's we this is the party that protects predators. They would love to be able to do nasty things to little
their
girls.
Argument would be, if it's fertile, it's time to fertile.
One person, I can't remember the name of this guy, but they actually said, I believe ripe was the word.
Right.
Or, this is how, but that's why 47%, remember we went over that poll the other day, 47% of people polled said that even if Trump was in the Epstein files and they saw it for themselves, they would still vote for him. 47%.
If they saw the video,
think about that.
They would vote for him.
Right. How many millions of people voted for Trump? Let's just call it 80 million. So almost 40 million people in this country would still vote for Donald J. Trump, even if they saw a video of him doing disgusting things to the kids. And I truly believe that 100% of that 47% are MAGA Christian dudes.
Oh, absolutely they are.
I guarantee it.
That's a great segue, sir, because this is not an isolated incident. The fact that a elected official did something sketchy, that itself is unique. But, well, in this scenario, but when we talk about this epidemic of child lust for children, it's a pandemic, if not endemic to our society. Here, for example, is a spread of the age of consent in the U.S. So, the lowest legal age of consent anywhere in the United States is 16 years old. The highest, 18. Now, I'm not going to say you could 100% draw parallels from the location of all of these, but there you start to look at concentrations. Just, I would say, keep your eye on Texas and West Virginia while we go through this journey. But first, I want to point out that this is the age of consent, and you're going to see where I'm going with this. Legally, the age of consent is the minimum age at which a person is considered legally capable of consenting to sexual activity. It's the age at which a minor is deemed legally able to engage in sexual acts without it being considered a criminal offense. This age varies by jurisdiction, but it generally falls between 16 and 18. Now, why am I stressing consent and the age of consent? Because there's something else in this country that seems to override the age of consent. What, you might ask? The legal minimum age for marriage. Now, before I show you this next graph, I'd like to point out, if you haven't put the sticky math together, the whole point that there's a difference is so that people who would like to marry a child can marry that child, and that overrides the age of consent, because in these states, your marriage means you are entitled to sexual relations with your wife.
Jesus Christ.
Ready?
Yeah.
What do you... Wait. Jeremy, shit. You know, because you saw the graph already.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give everyone like 10 seconds to just think to themselves what they think the lowest legal age of marriage is in the United States.
Yeah,
this would have been a good time for us to do the Jeopardy thing.
Right? This is staggering. Like,
all right.
I was literally flabbergasted with this one. Fucking zero, bro. Zero, dude.
So again, let me stress the point that I made moments ago. Just moments ago. That in those states where the legal age, minimum marriage age, is 0, that means the age of consent might be 18, 17, 16, whatever. But if a parent gives another adult the right to legally marry their child at, I don't know, 3, that there is a
crazy
county clerk that won't sign a gay marriage certificate, but they would sign this child marriage certificate, and everyone would be like, well, that's just the law.
That's nuts. The next one's my favorite.
Remember those 2 states?
Yeah.
Where do you think the highest rate of child marriage might be?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, but we joked about this before the show. This is the least shocking statistic you'll ever hear. Literally, West Virginia and Texas.
Literally, like look at the numbers, right? So, like, your average numbers would be on this scale a 4-ish, okay? If you look at it, it averages out about that. Okay, fine. Some states are, like California, I'm surprised that's a little higher than Texas. 6.9%.
That's crazy to me, though. The average in the U.S.,
Alaska,
though.
1.8%. They got their shit together in Alaska. Holy crap.
Yeah, what is it per thousand? So, oh my God. So 4 point, U.S. average is 4.6 child marriages per thousand. That's crazy to me.
West Virginia, by the way, is 7.1.
Yeah, above average. They're doing well in that category.
But the only thing that West Virginia is above average in statistically is the age of child marriages per capita.
Close to last in education, but first in fucking kids, man. Jesus.
I got to
mean,
see what the
sorry.
chat just did to itself.
Yeah, I've been turning the ad revenue off on these shows just
Damn it.
because, so we can say what the fuck we want to say.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Amanda's like sick, and people justify this. I agree. They do. They try
What do you
and
think?
justify it.
You know what the worst part is? The old me would go, you know what? You know what they would use to justify it? Religion. And partially that's true. What's sicker is that they try and take facts and science and twist it to their bullshit inklings. They would go, well, technically, they're biologically the most fertile at 14 or whatever it is. Yeah, but guess what?
Right.
In an adult society run by adults, children don't have the capacity to deal with that shit, and we're supposed to protect them.
The fact that we're talking
we're
about
not
this
animals.
just tells you how screwed up our society is.
How about
we
this?
have a large part of the population that wants to do things to underage kids. That's just this bothers me. This makes me feel disgusted with my country.
Hold on, I got Rune. Oh, I'm glad you're
that
watching.
Is a large amount of people.
A longtime Instagram follower of mine just said in December 1957, Jerry Lee Lewis, then 22 years old, married his 13-year-old cousin.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. There's a lot. Yeah, well, yeah. There's who else was it? Was it Howard Hughes? Used to date underage girls.
Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio was like in his like 40s, and he was dating someone who was like 19. Like, dude, come on, man.
That bothers me when I see celebrities. Like, I'm a fan of Leo DiCaprio, but bro, the fact that you date girls that are barely legal makes me feel like you would date girls that are underage. Like, there's no reason for somebody in their 40s, 50s, and 60s to be dating somebody 18, 19 years old. It's disgusting. There was a girl recently. I don't know her. Her name's Lil Tay, I think it is. She was 17, and then on her 18th birthday, she decided to make an OnlyFans account. She made over $1 million in a few hours the moment she turned 18, which means that most likely the footage or pictures that she took while she was 17, but just posted them when she was 18. You sick fucks. Literally the moment she turned 18 are trying to buy naked pictures of her, dude. Y'all need to have your heads examined, or you belong in an asylum or something.
Do you remember, I don't know if you will or not. I mean, you will, but hold on. Jessica Biel, when she was like really becoming popular, there was that famous photo of her that was like topless enough to be topless without being topless. And she was 16 at the time.
Oh, shit.
And it was like one of those posters, like, dude, we grew up in basically the same era. Like, I had a Kathy Ireland poster in my bedroom, you know what I mean? Cindy Crawford, whatever.
Yeah.
But there was this picture, this famous photo of her going around. And she was 16 years old, and it was like the most sexual poster.
I don't know if I've ever seen it.
Point being, it has always been acceptable to over-sexualize women and girls in not only this country, but this entire planet. And it's really disgusting. It's just gross.
Here. And the Christian nationalist movement is a problem when it comes to your daughter's rights.
Well, you know, Amanda says something here. Dating children is not a flex, but they can't pull real women, so they have to make it legal.
Oh my God, Amanda's so good at talking shit.
You know what else? You know what else that is? She hit the nail right on the head.
Yeah.
Because what really is at the core of this, the same thing that's the core of not all pedophilia in the sense of an attraction, but it's the dominance, the power, and the submission.
Right.
People that
right.
If you're a 50-year-old man, a 60, 70-year-old man that wants to be with a 20-year-old woman, it's not just because you might find them attractive. It's because you want them to be so scared of your old, powerful manness that they just, oh, yes, daddy. Oh, whatever you say, daddy. Right. That's what this creepiness is.
It is a little, it's getting a little much. It's getting to be much, and I'm tired. I can't believe we have a government that actually protects and supports this kind of behavior. And we have a population that does too. Oh, Amanda, I wanted to say thank you. She's in the chat. She was the one that actually encouraged me to start posting on Facebook again. I don't know how.
Talk about that.
I don't know how. Yeah, Facebook.
Your boy Jeremy is making a bit of a living on Facebook.
I just passed 20,000 followers today on Facebook, which is insane. insane because I wasn't posting at all on Facebook for the longest time. And Amanda was like, well, you may as well because, I am already monetized on there. So I started posting on there. And sure enough, it just kind of blew up. And yeah, we just passed 20,000 today, which is amazing. So thank you, everybody. Because it's good, though. We stream on Facebook, too. And now I just started streaming on Instagram as well. So we're trying to reach as many people as possible. So yeah, thank you so much. All right, moving on. Let's talk about somebody who... Just poor choice of words, because this is a good one to segue into the next topic, which is school shootings. But here is Janine Piro talking about going after teens, but just her choice of words is so poor. She literally says, "I can't touch teens that are 14, 15." I'm like, bro, did she just say that?
Is she regretting that?
She might be a couple wine spritzers deep into this one. This is so good.
They can be in DuPont Circle, but they know that we can't touch them. Why? Because the laws are weak. I can't touch you if you're 14, 15, 16, 17 years old and you have a gun. I convict someone of shooting another person with an illegal gun on a public bus in the chest, intent to kill. I convict him. And you know what the judge gives him? Probation. Says you should go to college.
What? When have you ever heard a story of one person killing another and the judge going, "You need college"?
Yeah, that's never happened.
I'm serious.
That's never happened.
It's so
How about this?
stupid.
How about this? Queen of the drunks, Janine whatever the hell her name is, Janine Piro.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you.
Janine
What
Pinot
if,
Noir.
let's say, a kid decides to sexually assault a woman behind a dumpster? Should you worry about if he's underage and young and only care that it might have destroyed his life if you convict him? You see how there's a double standard? Because
Right.
you're not talking about white kids. You're talking about brown people.
Yeah.
That's what's happening because they're implying that cleaning up the DC area, this is all going back to the inherent racism of all of this. They're not saying they're going to round up, right? What is the rhetoric? Black people, homelessness, crime, all of that. Brown people, homelessness, crime. They're not talking about white people here, folks.
Yo, Lost Again said Janine Winebox. That's hilarious. But she's I guess she's a judge. I thought she was just like they just called her that on television. I didn't think she actually was one. You know what I mean? But she apparently has never heard of being tried as an adult because you hear about that all the time. Violent crime, murder, stuff like that, 16, 17. They get tried as an adult.
The law has flexibility to fit the offense.
Right, they don't get probation in college. I've never heard that before.
What might have happened, look, we don't know the story, but I'm going to speculate on just a high level. There might have been a story where a kid got an illegal gun because he got caught up in horrible shit because, we could talk about what it's like growing up poor, and they, shot someone and didn't kill them. And then, of course, they're going to take that nugget of truth and turn it into propaganda.
Right. But they don't want to acknowledge that there's a gun purchasing problem. Like there are more guns in America than there are people. That is a fact. Okay, so
most of them are
let's
owned
say
by
350 million people in America, roughly, approximately, whatever. More guns than that, even though you can only shoot one at a time, maybe two.
I wish they understood that.
Right,
because you have these idiots with it's them, their wife, and 15 kids under the age of 4 with 700 AK-47s.
I don't get it either. I'm a gun owner too. So everybody knows I'm very pro 2A. I don't have a problem with the Second Amendment. I believe in being able to protect yourself. I think going shooting actually is very therapeutic. You can blow off a lot of steam. But I'm also not psychotic. I believe that people should, if you have severe mental issues, there should be red flag laws. I don't understand why there's a problem, but they've in this country, it seems like the one thing Republicans will not do is make stricter gun control laws. If anything, I think the Supreme Court just ruled this year to basically it's called a bump stock, where you attach it to a semi-automatic weapon and it basically makes it an automatic weapon. They made that legal. Donald Trump and the big beautiful bill, I believe they took tax away on silencers. Who the fuck? Who needs a suppressor? I mean, I get it if you're a hobbyist and go shooting and target shooting and it's cool and stuff like that, but so much so that we, oh great, now I can go buy my suppressor and save tag. Like they don't care about.
Well, wait, they'll do what they always do. It's meant for hunting.
I know, yeah. Let me take my AR and my suppressor hunting.
Yeah. I know a lot of hunters. You know what they don't hunt with? High-powered rifles, because it'll blow the deer to pieces.
Yeah, the back. Yeah, it'll be a very small entry hole, and the back end of it will just completely blown out.
You know why? Because most hunters either want the trophy or the meat, so they don't want to blow it to pudding and go, ha ha ha! I shoot big guns, small peepee.
Yeah. So like, I'm a big believer in don't be stupid. We do live in a crazy world. It's not, even if you're against guns, just having one and knowing how to use it just to have it. You know what I mean? Just don't be a victim. Just crazy days. Donald Trump is invading U.S. cities with the military. So it's not far-fetched to say that maybe now is the time for you to really consider exercising your constitutional rights before they no longer exist. Because he will come for the Second Amendment. He will come for it.
When you were here last time, we talked about that with like getting training, even if I'm not going to be a gun owner. And I got to tell you, there is a training center right next door to one of the cannabis dispensaries, which is hilarious.
A lot of people I find don't like guns because they've never properly learned how to. Right. You're afraid. It is scary, but once you realize it's quite literally an inanimate object until you put it in the hands of a human being. Right. It's a tool. And it is safe in certain states, until there's a round in the chamber and until it's loaded, ready to go.
And then all this enters it.
Right. You can throw it at somebody, but other than that, you know what I mean? That's about it. So I think it's just a good idea, just to experience it. If you don't like it, then don't. But you might find yourself being like, oh, okay, well, maybe this isn't as scary as I thought it was. I mean, you might actually feel a little bit empowered. You never know. I'm just saying, try it. You know what I mean?
In the environment we live in, you might not know what you need to do to survive at some point. So it's good to have as much exposure and education.
I just don't want people to be naive.
That's exactly right. That's it.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So just explore the option is all I'm saying.
All right, let's get on to some more
fun I'm sorry.
stuff.
We were totally off topic here. So let's talk. Well, I have a good segue.
I'm having a great time, so I don't get
I know. I have a good segue video into the school shooting thing. This is Janine Piro being asked, well, why are you guys not putting any money? You're defunding programs regarding, I believe it's gun violence awareness.
Tell me she's not drunk at the end of this, please.
She sounds
If I'm misreading this, let me know.
Right?
Out of time? That means you've had enough. Goodbye. Thank you. I want you to report on it.
But you said it's guns. You said it's guns on the street that's causing this problem. Are you concerned that the DOJ's funding cuts to gun violence prevention programs undermine the effort?
Stop it. We are putting all kinds of resources onto the street.
But what about the gun?
We're playing all kinds of resources
Thanks.
onto the street.
The stuff you wouldn't know we're doing because it's stuff we're doing.
Don't be stupid.
Don't be stupid. We got stuff going
Where's
on.
Where's my line? Yeah, God. This is so performative. These people are just a joke.
Yeah, that was, you know what that was? Professional pearl clutching. Oh, how dare you tell us to do the thing that you could see that we clearly did? How dare you tell us that?
Right. So let's get into this story that Mike found out about, because this is actually very concerning. Apparently, there is a place in the United States where they're teaching kids how to shoot each other using airsoft rifles. For those of you who don't know, airsoft is a thing. It's actually pretty cool. It's like shooting plastic BB guns, or BB guns that shoot plastic pellets.
But they function.
And people take it very seriously.
Gun, right?
However, when it's no longer a recreational activity and they decided to make it about military training, then we have a bit of an issue. So, Mike, if you would, please, we have some. This is very interesting.
I think the part about this that sucks several different assholes is that it's kind of billed as like a family fun time.
That's right.
An urban adventure, if you will. So first, before there's any confusion, on the left is the bio of the account at which posted all these initial panels. And what's really cool is they're a cool account. They basically have a lot of awareness for all types of causes. I'm not plugging them. I have nothing to do with them, but I want them to get the credit because this is a series of good panels with information. So there's a school where American kids train for real-life militia warfare. Okay, now what you have to understand about this is coming from the people that believe instead of making sure guns don't get into the hands of bad guys, they want to make sure everyone has guns, has military-style training. Even when you're little kids and you go to school, you got to make sure you can shoot them guns.
Yes, sir. Important stuff, man.
A family from North Carolina has opened an authentic spiritual military airsoft center. It's always
spiritual military
religion.
What the
inside
fuck is
an
that?
abandoned. This is the creepy, this
That's
sick,
hilarious.
twisted shit. Inside an abandoned elementary school in the state, the minimum age to participate, much like marriage, probably in the state, 9 years old. Okay. In a country with the highest number of school shootings in the world, children are being given the opportunity to learn how to hold a gun, pull the trigger, and shoot at another person. Okay, I'm going to get to the part where they talk about it, but I got to jump the gun here. Think the word desensitization. Think about it.
Yeah.
From early childhood, they're being conditioned to accept violence as normal. While society frames the military as one of the core pillars of the culture they are growing up in. Meaning, the more you live in a militaristic state, the more you accept it. The more you revere soldiers as heroes, you accept it. On the surface, the center appears to be designed purely for entertainment, which is sick and twisted. Families can sign up to spend an entire day in military uniforms with rifles in hand, running through the woods or the classrooms of the abandoned school, shooting at one another. Matthew Troyer, photographer of the war in Afghanistan, visited this center and remarked that the only difference between the children in North Carolina and soldiers in Afghanistan is that there, the bullets are plastic. Normalizing the carrying and handling of weapons, simulated violent combat, and killing under the banner of religion is not a game. It is a deliberately crafted strategy for the militarization of society. The line between play and reality becomes dangerously thin, especially when the goal is to make the game as realistic as possible, something Rats has certainly achieved.
Yeah, so instead of that's what we're doing now. We're training kids. I keep hearing Hitler Youth, man. I keep hearing it. I mean, in my head, anyway. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what they're doing.
And keep in mind, now they're going to start training kids and families to kill each other. But remember the first great idea to stop school shootings? Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, I know. This is genius, right?
Crap. The foldable bulletproof shelter. Instead of making sure people don't shoot schools, they're just going to go, all right, teachers, you're now responsible, on top of managing your own 401k, to make sure all the kids get in the shelter. Because, like, what? You close the door before the last kid and you're not going to get sued to pieces because you didn't save that one kid's life? Fuck off.
Yeah, right? That's a lot of responsibility for somebody who doesn't get paid much.
But at least this teacher took the time to make them nice and pretty.
I know, right? You know what's crazy? They're going to $50,000 sign-on bonuses to ICE agents to be Gestapo, lifting the age gap or the age cap and lowering the age limit to join. But then they want to defund schools. Kids can't even get free school lunches.
Wait a minute.
And they have to have bulletproof shelters because the GOP will not do anything about gun violence.
What you're telling me is they're lowering the age that people can have guns and get pregnant.
Awesome. Jesus Christ, this country, man. Yeah, so that's happening too.
There
so
is
yeah,
that.
we're kind of
sorry, guys. That was kind of a bummer.
We're good. We're good.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say what it was, but I had a panel that I chose not to use. That was delightfully offensive. I chose not to do it. Let's just say it wasn't necessary.
All right, so let's move on to Donald Trump because he's out there being a dumbass again, of course, embarrassing the country. They're also, again, posting on the White House's official Twitter feed that Donald Trump deserves the Nobel Peace Prize because he's the president of peace. In 6 months, he has
He's the
accomplished.
president of a piece of shit.
Yeah, he is a piece of shit president, that's for sure. But this is what they're still talking about. Okay, they just put the military on the streets of the United States Capitol, and they're talking today, quite literally today, about the peace price. They're making being homeless illegal. They want to fine homeless people, guys. They want to. Caroline Leavitt said they want to fine homeless people. So they're still going to be homeless, but now they're also going to have a fine that if they don't pay, they're going to go to jail or have a bench warrant out for the rest. Well, I'd love to see them serve that. Like, what address are you going to mail it to? You know what I'm saying? So they're basically using the military and the cops to go around and round up. We're going to start seeing homeless people disappear. This is an issue for me, just because homeless people kind of slip between the gaps. Like people, you know, a lot of times people that are homeless, everybody's like, oh, they have mental issues or it's drugs. Especially Donald Trump. He says this shit all the time. So if somebody on the streets that everybody's forgotten about, because obviously if they had family members left, you know, they either still cared about them, because if it is drugs or something, like maybe you burned all your bridges, maybe you have no options. You know what I'm saying? What are you going to do with these people? They're going to just start disappearing, and we're not going to hear about it because nobody cares about these people anymore.
Boom.
Yeah, they're going to go into internment camp or jail, or we're just going to they're just going to disappear them.
You can't live in a functioning society with a debtor's prison when the game is rigged to screw people over. Like, it's never going to make sense to make being homeless a crime or a civil infraction, whatever. But if you're not even doing the bare minimum, you know, this isn't my idea. Plenty of people have said it. The amount of money it takes to house all of these people that are going to be prisoners is a waste of money. The only people benefiting from it are the prison system. So you could take that same amount of money and build dozens of homes, small, like cubicle style homes for people, just to get them a place to live and shower and sleep safely at night. But no, we don't have compassion in this country because we have evil capitalism that is being puppeted by an oligarchy whose only function in this world is to take everything from you. That's how they win.
I don't like how they're doing the whole Netanyahu Gaza, like, you guys need to leave. We're coming, but you guys, like, we're giving you warning. So, you know, that to them is being nice. So we gave you warning, leave. Where are people that have nowhere to go supposed to go? Do you just want them to just be on the outside of the city, but still homeless? Like, so you're saying you just don't want to see them. You don't care if they find a home or not. You don't care if they go to jail. You just don't want to see them anymore.
Oh,
Yvonne. So you're not going to solve the problem. You're just going to lock people up.
Yvonne, you can't use that money on treatment centers because then you would have to have something. Now, this word is very weird. Now, I'm going to whisper it. Compassion.
I know, right? That's definitely something that they are lacking. Empathy and compassion is not the GOP's strong suit. So, all right, moving on to Donald Trump and this whole Russia ordeal, which is crazy. Here's the video of Donald Trump, again, getting Russia and Alaska confused.
Emergency. And it's embarrassing for me to be up here. You know, I'm going to see Putin. I'm going to Russia on Friday. I don't like being up here talking about how unsafe and how dirty and disgusting this once beautiful capital was.
I forgot I put those in there. I played that yesterday. Me and James were having fun with fart noises.
I tuned in towards the end, and I swear the second I tuned in and it started playing, I heard farts.
Dude, I was crying. I was laughing so hard, man. That shit was hilarious.
Oh man.
So but this is getting so bad though, they can't even cover it up anymore.
Well, no, his brain does not function. I mean, it's not. I'm like, I don't even want to talk about his cognitive decline other than to point out specific instances because it's important. People keep seeing it. There's nothing more to say on it. What's interesting is, let's look at for a moment what it actually means for Donald Trump to be having Putin here, because Putin has been to the U.S. many times.
Yep.
And I'll tell you right now, because I'm going to go through some slides you're going to be surprised about. No one should have ever invited Vladimir Putin to the United States.
Agreed.
He is a war criminal. He tortures his people. He's an oligarch. He is anti-democracy. Okay,
He
he
throws
is a
people
bigot.
out of
He's a
windows.
racist. That is who he is. The American people should not be hosting that guy's 4-star dinner. But what to know about the historic Trump-Putin summit in Alaska? They call it a summit without the guy whose country is being invaded. Anyway, it will be Putin's first trip to the United States since 2015 for the UN General Assembly in New York. Since the U.S. is not a member of the International Criminal Court, which in 2023 issued a warrant for Putin on war crime accusations, it is under no obligation to arrest him. Well, that's nice. That's convenient. The Russia-U.S. summit in Alaska is happening at a site where East meets West, quite literally in a place familiar to both countries as a Cold War front line of missile defense, radar outposts, and intelligence gathering. Both countries confirmed a meeting between only Putin and Trump, even though there were initial suggestions that Ukrainian President Zelensky might be part of it. But the Kremlin has long pushed back against Putin meeting Zelensky. That's weird if you're looking for peace, at least until a peace deal is reached by Russia and Ukraine. So they can't meet to talk about peace until there's peace, which they can't talk. What?
Make it make sense.
As Jeremy just showed, Trump literally does not know where he is going. If you're going to have this big meeting that you're supposed to impress people, you're using it to grab control in this country, remember where the hell you're having that meeting.
Please.
Guy.
Right, please.
But, like I said, I promised you a little history lesson. We go through some meetings. Actually. Not all of these meetings were in the U.S., but in general, the U.S. president, who is the representative of the United States and its people, should not be meeting dictators. Sorry. If you want to say that we have to meet with them for peace, that's what diplomats are for. Leaders of nations should not meet with other leaders of nations who commit genocide regularly. Here is Herbert Hoover and Adolf Hitler in 1938. I mean, it's before the shit, but they knew what he was doing.
Well, ironically, because we've pointed out that there was a very large pro-Nazi movement in America, and I just looked up when that rally took place in Madison Square Garden. It was February 20th of 1939. So this meeting tracks.
Wow. Yeah. That's terrifying. Okay, we got Roosevelt and Stalin, 1943. By the time these people met, these two gentlemen, it was already known what Stalin was doing. And that's the point. It's not like they're meeting before the shit hit the fan. They're just meeting before we were at war with each other. But these people are like, we shouldn't be meeting them. But that's history. We're getting a little close. Mao Zedong and Nixon in 72. We're going to take a little bit of a jump. Bush Sr. and Pinochet, which, by the way, I don't know. Maybe we got entangled in South American politics. I don't know. Maybe read that history. Then we got, Bush Jr. and Putin in 2008. Look at them, those little guys just having fun.
Aw, they look so cute, matching suits and shit.
Democrats can do it too, and progressive people and left-wing people can do it too. Obama meeting Mubarak, the president of Egypt, who was a big dick. But we have a deal where we sell them weapons, so, we got to meet with them. Oh, one of my personal favorites, Don Trump and his little boyfriend, Kim Jong-un. Now, some of you think this meeting in Alaska on Friday is actually happening on Friday. I mean, that's what they just want to tell you. But I didn't tell Jeremy this, but I got this from one of our sources. The person put themselves a great
behind the scenes footage.
This is going on right now in Alaska, the wild frontier.
I like how he has a little phone in his hand.
This is not Photoshop. This is not AI. This is a 100% totally factual image.
Totally real. That's hilarious. Yes, we need to stop coddling dictators for sure. For sure. Russia has never been our friend until Donald Trump came around. And now we have Pete Hegseth. We have the vice president also going around and trying to I don't know, they must be doing this to please Putin. That's the only thing I can think of.
Of course they are.
Donald Trump. And keep in mind, Donald Trump is negotiating on behalf of Zelensky without Zelensky. He's negotiating for Ukraine without the president of Ukraine available or present at the meeting. You have no what power does Donald Trump have over Ukrainian soil? Is what I'm saying. Like, what is he going to go to?
What is their negotiation?
Well,
there's no
I
negotiation.
heard the story. Right.
You stop invading and you leave.
All right. So here's the story. We have a dumbass administration. So I think is it Steve Witkoff, whoever the ambassador to Russia is, met with Putin or met with Putin's people. It didn't bring an American interpreter with him. He used an actual Russian interpreter. So they could have been telling him anything. And then according to reporting,
you're the dumbest.
They misunderstood what Putin was saying. Putin doesn't want to negotiate at all. He wants land. That's what he wants. He's an invading force. He's not going to leave. And even if he agrees to this, Donald Trump will come back and be like, I made a deal. And then next week, he'll be bombing freaking Ukraine again. It's what it's what Putin does all the time. All the time. Netanyahu does the same thing. All right, Trump, we'll do a ceasefire. Yep. And then 3 days goes by, and Netanyahu's back to bombing people again. And then Donald Trump and the GOP are silent. And the Democrats, they're all silent about it. And Democrats, read the fucking room, okay? We don't like Israel at the moment. Their government. Yeah. We do not want to be involved. And I'm worried this is going to happen. I'm worried that the Nazi anti-Semitic part of the right is going to fracture off and then capture people that are against Israel. And then, you understand what I'm saying? Like, there's going to be a void of voters that are 100% against Israel, but then they also see the Democrats supporting Israel. So Democrats need to read the room. Because if you don't, this is really going to cost you the midterms. This is going to cost you a lot of votes.
And look, let me tell you, everything's going for them. Everything is going for the Democrats at the midterms. Like the amount of people that are actually fed up with Trump is surprising to me. Obviously, his hardcore goons are still going to suck at the teat. But
of course,
a lot of people are like, we really should have paid a little more attention. And that's fine. We're here now. But the Democrats have it all for them. Obviously, there's the gerrymandering they have to fight. Texas just basically advanced that bill to gerrymander Jasmine Crockett's district out of existence. And guess how they did that? Guess how that bill or that measure advanced in the Texas legislature? 2 Democrats aided in the passing.
Yeah.
Why? What could you possibly garner from that other than you are now? In fact, let me broaden that. Democrats right now that do anything to comply with anything the Republicans do, because they are all in service of fascism. Any Democrat that does that is complicit, because they are trying to save their ass and they're trying to hedge their bets and go, all right, I'm out now. Remember what I did? Remember, forget that I'm a woman and I'm black. Remember that I did this for you. Forget that I'm a woman and I'm white. Remember I did this for you.
Right. So, but yeah, this is going to be a big issue, I think, when it comes to voting this year, because people are waking up to what is really going on in American politics. But it's not controlled by America. It is controlled by foreign nations, unfortunately, by money and by straight up some of these people are straight up just abandoning America completely. Putting countries like Israel over ourselves. You know what I mean? But here is Pete Hegseth. I'll play a video of him cosplaying as the Secretary of Defense, talking about how we should not be giving money to Ukraine. Okay, we'll give money to Israel to commit genocide, but we're not going to give money to Ukraine to defend itself from Russia. Got it.
This is not a war of President Trump's making. He ran to say, I want to end this war. He didn't cause this. The weakness of previous administrations, Obama and Biden caused this. President Trump came in to say, I'm going to make peace. It makes nobody happy, but it ends a senseless war with thousands of people killed every week, and he wants to stop it.
Wasn't there a president between
Obama
and Biden? Wasn't there a president between Obama and Biden?
Yeah, I think so. That's funny.
One could make an argument
Right.
that Obama, I mean, we could play this game too. Obama actually made everything great because, he's cool, right? Then Trump came in and he fucked it up. And then Biden, he did his best to hold it out, but it was too screwed up from what Trump did. See, It doesn't make sense when you make things up and don't have proof, because I could say whatever the hell I want. But come on. At some point, someone's got to hold these people accountable for history.
I agree.
But not this government, because we're going to just have a summit with Putin about what land Ukraine should give up.
Pretty much. And so we actually have Zelensky's full response. It's like 2.5 minutes long. We're going to watch that here in a second.
Guess where you're never going to see that? Any single news channel or station.
Yeah, pretty much. This is so stupid, man. Our country's lost right now. So anyway, here's the vice president, though. I'll play this first. Again, talking about that it's Europe's problem, basically, is what they're saying.
To your point about weapons, what we said to the Europeans is simply, first of all, this is in your neck of the woods. This is in your back door. You guys have got to step up and take a bigger role in this thing. And if you care so much about this conflict, you should be willing to play a more direct and a more substantial way in funding this war yourself. I think the president, and I certainly think that America, we're done with the funding of the Ukraine war business. We want to bring about a peaceful settlement to this thing. We want to stop the killing. But Americans, I think, are sick of continuing to send their money, their tax dollars to this particular conflict. But if the Europeans want to step up and actually buy the weapons from American producers, we're okay with that, but we're not going to fund it ourselves anymore.
Wait. If you want to buy weapons from the people that make weapons, that's fine. We'll support that war, but we won't give you the weapons to help defend yourself.
Right.
That's what he just said. But also, we will, because we will continue to do the exact same thing for Israel, who is bombing starving children.
I know, right? I love how he says that particular conflict. Americans are tired of us sending money
the other
for that
one is
particular
totally
conflict.
different set of circumstances, right? Am I right? Do you have donut?
Right? I wasn't, I said this a few weeks ago, I think, and I don't know how I felt about it, but it's been said by quite a few people now that Netanyahu is putting the lives of all Jewish people at risk.
Yep.
Because
he's
anti-Semitism, right. He's a Zionist, but most people don't know the difference between a Zionist and somebody of the Jewish faith. You know what I mean? And it's just the same way, like, people need to differentiate that MAGA Christians and Christian nationalists and actual Christians are not the same. Not the same at all. Same thing here. So we're basically just, again, we're dealing with religious extremism in places like Israel and the United States, which is crazy.
Yep.
So anyway, we have Zelensky's response to all this. He's not happy, obviously. I can't imagine finding out probably through a Truth Social post that you're not even invited to the negotiation of divvying up your own country. That's crazy. And I like how Pete Hegseth is like, Pete Hegseth is like, well, this is Donald Trump just wants to bring peace to this conflict. Yeah, he said he'd end it in 24 hours. It's been 7 months. When are we going to get some results here? But he keeps getting played by Putin. Putin will say, oh, yeah, Donald Trump, I cease fire. And then the next minute, he's bombing again. It's just a joke. But anyway, let's play Zelensky's full response here. And we can talk about it while we're doing it here.
Трамп оголосив
Let me remove that. Let me add this back to
у
the
своїй зустрічі з Путіним на Алясці. Дуже далеко від цієї війни, яка триває на нашій землі, проти нашого народу, яку все одно не закінчити без нас, без України. Путін не вірив в наших людей, тому ухвалив це своє безнадійне рішення спробувати взяти Україну. Це було його головною помилкою – не зважати на українців. Я вірю в наших людей, бо українці сильні, українці захищають своє. Багато хто в світі став на бік України за час війни. Навіть ті, хто з Росією, знають, що вона чинить зло.
Here we can talk. I'll play it as B-roll. But yeah, I agree. I have mad respect for this dude. Just the fact that, like, did he used to be a comedian?
He was an actor. Well, I think maybe comedian too, something to that effect.
And now he's quite literally whooping Russia's ass in this war. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I'm sure they're struggling because there was moments that we reported that Ukrainians were running out of bullets because the GOP for the last 2 years has been constantly trying to defund this war. Let's not forget that Biden was president, but for the last 2 years of Biden's presidency, the GOP controlled the House. And they fought tooth and nail to not send funds to Ukraine. Again, to the point where they were running out of shells for their mortars, their artillery, and just flat out no rounds for their freaking rifles. You know what I'm saying? But again, we'll simultaneously fund the living shit out of a genocide happening to the Palestinian people. I will never understand what is going on with this country, how we've slipped so far from what we stood for.
We stopped being vigilant, or maybe we never started being vigilant enough, and we allowed groups the latitude to hide behind their freedoms, because the danger of freedom, and this is the irony, the reason we're here where we have a fascist takeover of this country is because freedoms can make sure that fascism, dictators, power-hungry assholes, all of that stays in check. They don't want that. The reason we're here is because we did nothing to stop it. We kept allowing people grabbing more, groups grabbing more, people making bigger claims, challenges to this. Roe v. Wade fell because we allowed a president, or we allowed a Senate to hold back a judicial nomination from a sitting president, because they knew that would have screwed up their decades-long plan. That's how we got where we got, where the shittiest of Americans speak for the rest of us.
Right. The Heritage Foundation played the long game. So did Russia. So did Israel. They've all been playing the long game on us. And they seized their opportunity of using Donald Trump as their puppet.
Yep.
He's not in control of shit. The only thing he has control over is, I don't know. At this point, I don't even know if he has control over his own cabinet or his own mind, for that matter, because he's out there losing it. If you don't believe me, here, I'll play this clip. This is how he explains why he wants to do the beautification of Washington, D.C. And this just reminds me of, like, Forrest Gump. My mama always told me life is like a box. Here, I'll just play the clip.
Said, my father always used to tell me, I had a wonderful father, very smart. And
Papa
he
always
used to
used
say,
to tell
son,
me.
when you walk into a restaurant and you see a dirty front door, don't go in. Because if the front door is dirty, the kitchen's dirty also.
Sick, twisted stuff.
Same thing with the Capitol. If our Capitol's dirty, our whole country is dirty, and they don't respect us. So it's a very good question.
Think about what he's saying. He's not saying that. Think about coming to a Capitol and see the government being taken over by a convicted felon and a sexual abuser. Think of the ugliness and the filthiness that represents. He's saying, look at the homeless people that we refuse to help. Look at the criminals that are most likely criminals because of the policies this country enacts on society, on different groups of people. He's not saying, look at the ugliness of our policies abroad, our policies against our gay community, our brown community, our women. No, he's saying, look what isn't shiny enough to impress other ineffective, squeamish little men that only respect the size of each other's dicks. That's what he's saying. He's not saying, look at us and how far we've fallen. He's saying, look how much farther I could take us.
Yeah. This is going to fail, guys. I worry more about the people behind the scenes. Donald Trump and his whole administration are incompetent. However, J.D. Vance and the Heritage Foundation are not. They're not stupid. They're not stupid. I worry more about the people that are behind the scenes than I do Donald Trump, because the guy's a psychopath and he's just an idiot. But we have to deal with this. So, yeah. But that's all we have for today. Don't forget, guys, I will be getting up early going to Washington, D.C. tomorrow. Again, I don't know what to expect. I have no plan. I'm still trying to figure this out. It was all day long. It was like, am I going? Am I not going? I don't know. Yes, no, yes, no. So trying to, so I'm going to go is what we decided. And I'm going to go just because I want to see for myself what it looks like. Is all the talk true? Are there troops on the streets? Is there any protesting going on? Like, I just want to see it for myself, and I want to bring it to you guys, because honestly, I haven't seen anything live from DC all day, and I looked hard. So I'm a little concerned with the amount of information suppression that's been going on lately. So again, if you guys want to help support the trip, the Cash App is in the bio. It's also not in the bio. I'm sorry. It is in the description of this video, along with our GoFundMe. GoFundMe is more towards future live streams, because we do have one coming up as well at the beginning of September, where I'm going to be going back to DC as well. I'm in the talks with Carlos from American Opposition to do some work there. And yeah, so we have a lot of stuff planned. We have a lot of stuff lined up, and we could really use your help. We really could use your help. We love you guys. We thank you much for all the support so far. And I already made a link for tomorrow, but I am going to be multi-streaming tomorrow on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube from my mobile device. So it should be pretty cool. I think I got all the kinks worked out. Last time I could only stream on YouTube, but this time I think I got everything figured out. So a lot of it could just be me walking around. If there's nothing going on, I might end up at one of the museums, just walking around and hanging out with you guys. Who knows? We'll have to just wait and see. Honestly, no plan on this one. There's no scheduled protests that I know of. I'm just going to wing it and see what happens. So have a great night, you guys. Love you all so much for the support. If you're watching on Facebook, welcome. There's a lot of you, but welcome.
Definitely seeing, I said it last time, every week we're seeing a few more people here and there that we keep seeing every week. So thank you, everyone, for helping us continue to grow. We really, really love you all.
Yeah, and we're not going to stop anytime soon. We're going to keep going until we're forced to stop. So hopefully that's never. But we'll see. Who knows what tomorrow will bring. All right, have a good night, guys. I will see you tomorrow around noon.